know, he started off good. He started off in typical Shawn Porter fashion, like some of the commentators were saying. I thought Crawford really looked like he was just trying to land counters. He was whiffing quick check hooks, missing them, whiffing uppercuts, missing them. And then as the rounds went on, I saw both fighters slow down. And when Crawford actually slowed down, he was doing better because he was actually able to hit the target now. When he was being flinchy and reactive, he wasn't as accurate. When he settled down a little bit, and because they both settled down because 5 rounds went by, and you're naturally gonna slow down to a degree, his timing got activated. So he wasn't flinching, and he was placing. And I started to see that shift around 5th round, 6th round. And I thought to myself, Crawford's going to take the second half of this fight. Then Shawn really didn't seem like he was in the best shape. You asked the commentators from ESPN, they say that was the greatest performance in Shawn Porter's career. And I beg to differ, not just because I fought Shawn Porter, but I just believe that his performances against Thurman, his performances against Errol Spence, and especially the Spence fight. I mean, it was right after the Pacquiao fight, which was a tremendous fight in 2019 of the summer, and I thought it was going to be a hard fight to follow up when it comes to entertainment. And I know Shawn was capable of it, but we've seen what Shawn did to Danny, we've seen what he did to Ugas, and we know that sometimes he doesn't put it all out there. But he did against Spence, and I thought that was one of his best performances of his career, even though he fell short of victory on that fight. And I pre-predicted that if Crawford was going to get him, it was going to be a step back left uppercut. That was based off of styles and how Shawn's constantly leaning in, and it really played out just like that. I was a little surprised. I was a little surprised, but then I wasn't surprised because I already predicted Shawn consistently was doing what he was doing without making any changes and adjustments. And for Crawford, it allowed him to settle in and capitalize, especially in the later rounds when Shawn's legs were not as sharp as they were in the opening 4 or 5 rounds. It was a great performance by both fighters. I think Crawford definitely had to battle it out. He had to endure, because that's the thing about a Porter fight is you're not going to get to the end. You're not going to get that victory if you cannot endure what Shawn Porter dishes out. We saw Kell Brook endure. We saw me endure. We saw Errol Spence endure. So the beauty is that he did make a statement by being the first person to stop Shawn Porter. But for whatever reason, it wasn't terrifying to all the commentators from ESPN. They said every welterweight's moving up to 54. It was not scary. All right, it was not a rated R movie. I was not frightened. Okay, if anything, I still believe that I present more than what Shawn did. Of course, we know Crawford is a talented individual. We know that there's an uncrowned king in the welterweight division, but that's why it's uncrowned.